Welcome again in video session of SST of Sanskar Public School. In previous video session, we have learned about the challenges after immediate independence and the state reorganization. So today we are going to learn the next topic in this video session. So our first topic is Indian foreign policy, because when we have set up our own policy, when we have set up our own constitution, when we reorganize the states also, then it is also necessary that we should set up the good and friendly relation and collaborate with the foreign countries also. Means that we cannot create the enemies with the other country. So that's why our political leader and the new government of Congress has to form the Indian foreign policy. It means what type of relation we will forward with the foreign countries. So along of that, Indian foreign policy, first of all we have started with the China. India got independence in 1947, China got independence in 1949. So in 1949, when the China got independence, then the Indian leader, the first Prime Minister, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, have signed a treaty. The treaty was called the Panchashil. What is the Panchashil? Panchashil means the 5 principles. This treaty was signed between the two countries in 1954. In 1954, a meeting was held. In this meeting, the members, Indian leaders and the Chinese leaders were there, and this summit was held in Belgrade in 1954, and this was signed. And in this Panchashil means the 5 principles. What 5 principles were there? They will cooperate to each other, means the both countries government will cooperate to each other when they had needed. यानी जब भी दोनों देशों को जरूरत पड़ेगी, दोनों ही देश एक दूसरे की मदद करेंगे. Second, the no one country will interfere into the internal affair. It means Chinese government will not interfere into the internal affairs of India, and Indian government will not interfere in internal affairs of China. Next is the at the international level, the both country will collaborate to each other. Both nations will respect to the independence and the freedom and culture and heritage of the countries, and they will respect. They will also respect to the each other territorial integrity. Means that no one nation try to occupy the territories of the other country. That is other thing कि both country have Chinese government had tried to occupy the Indian territories, but in this time it was mentioned in the Panchashil. Next is, so there were the 5 principles, on which 5 principles the both government had started to do work to set up the good relation, and the both country became the member of the UNO also. UNO was the United Nations Organization, in which the China is a permanent member. Always learn it. UNO is an international organization which have the 14 fund and the 16 agency, and after that there are 193 members. There are 5 permanent members: UK, USA, Russia, France and China. India is the original member. So now let's start about the name. NAM means the non-aligned movement, non-alignment movement we also call. If the question will come, what does NAM stands for? So you have to write non-aligned movement. What is the meaning of the non-aligned movement? Yani ki non-aligned movement was started by the Jawaharlal Nehru to remove the colonization, because in that was the time when so many countries became the powerful and occupied the territories of the weak countries, and the colonization was going on. So that's why Nehru had started a movement to removing the colonization, promote the policy of the UNO, promote the peace and harmony and security also. So that's why it was started by Jawaharlal Nehru. In 1947, a meeting was held in Delhi. In this, the 3 members were there. If the question will come, who was the founding father of the NAM, then simply you have to write J.L. Nehru from India, then Nasir from Nehru and President Tito of Yugoslavia. Tito from Yugoslavia, Nehru from India, and next for Abdul Nasir from China, and they were the founding father. Always learn it. There were the 3 founding father of the NAM. Number was JR Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru from the India, Tito from Yugoslavia, Abdul Nasir from the China, and they were the founding fathers, those who have set up the non-alignment movement. In this movement, they have to be called and meet with the countries, those who follow the colonization, those who occupy the territories of the weak countries, and after that, these three founding fathers convince them to removing the colonization and convince them to join the UNO also, because they want that more and more countries should join the UNO, because when the more and more country will join the UNO, then definitely peace and harmony will be set up. And the because the main aim of the UNO was also to set up the peace and harmony and increase the security also, internal security. So that's why the Nehru had a main aim to set up the non-alignment movement to promote the fundamental right, promote the policy, promote the peace and harmony, and to stop the war, because that was the time when the Cold War was going on between the USA and USSR. Our Second World War was over in 1945. Then the Cold War was started between the two countries. There was the USA and USSR. Why? Because after the Second World War, the most of country economically disrupt, and each and every country's financial condition was very bad. That's why USA and USSR, two only the powerful country, those who became the supreme power of the world. But the both country want to show their supremacy. That's why the Cold War goes going on. Now you should know what is the Cold War. Cold War means there is not an actual war which was fought by the armaments and nuclear power. Actual war नहीं होता जिसमें हम armaments use करते हैं. Cold War means the international tension. Cold War means the tension which was going on between the two countries at the international level. International level पर जब दो countries के बीच में powers को लेकर के कोई tension चलता है, that is called the Cold War. For an example, before few months, the tension was going on between the India and China. War ready था. War is going to start also, but it was ended, and because tension was going on between the two countries, so that is called the Cold War, because that tension was going on due to the territorial occupation and the powers also, who is the more powerful. That's why this situation was called the Cold War. So such type of condition was also going on after the Second World War immediately in 1946 to 1949. That's why to stop this Cold War, to stop the riot between the two countries, these three founding fathers prepared the non-alignment movement, and it played a very active role to promote the policy of the UNO and to stop the war and to promote the fundamental right among the nations and removing the colonization also. Next is the 5-year plan. What the 5-year plan? 5-year plan means that is a plan which prepared by the government. Means that when after the general election any government has to be formed, that government is responsible to prepare the 5-year plan, because each and every government is having a term of the 5 year. So means that before starting their work, they have to represent the plan in front of the president कि what work they will do during the next 5 years. After the election, यानी कि सेलेक्ट होने के बाद, गवर्नमेंट फ्रेम करने के बाद उन्हें एक प्लान रिप्रेजेंट करना होता है कि अगले 5 सालों में जब तक उनका टर्म है वो किन किन चीजों पे काम करेंगे और कैसे करेंगे. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड द फर्स्ट 5-year plan. First 5-year plan was prepared by the Jawaharlal Nehru. First 5-year plan prepared in 1951 by Nehru. Why? Because Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister, which means that he framed their own government, first government. That's why he was responsible to prepare the 5-year plan. And in this 5-year plan, they represented their planning on what work, on what topics, on what things they will do the work in next 5 years and what development they will brought in next 5 years. कौन सा development वो country में लेकर के आएंगे. And that's why what 5-year plan, the few topics were there on which the Nehru ji gave the focus. So number one, the first focus Nehru gave a focus on the dams. Dams means that the Nehru ji want to make the more and more dams, and they called the multi-purpose project. multi-purpose project. Multi-purpose project, Nehruji also told that all dams are the temples of the India. Temples of India. Why? First of all, why we have Nehruji called it the multi-purpose project? Because the how many dams have to be constructed? The dams are used for the multi-purpose. Dams is not only used for to stop the flood and to preserve the water. Even the dams is also used to irrigate, supply the water for drinking, supply the water for the irrigation, to stop the flood and to generate the electricity also. Means that the dam is having the multi-purpose work. That's why Nehruji called all them the multi-purpose project, and they gave a focus in their 5-year plan that they will set up the situated the many dams also. And the Nehruji is also called the temples of India. Means that they are comparing the dams with the temple, because when we have any wish to we have to go to the temple and complete our wishes from the god. The same as they are comparing the dams with the temple. If the question will come, who called dams are the multi-purpose project or the temples of India? Simply you have to write the one answer, that is the Jawaharlal Nehru. So these were the few projects and few plans of the first 5-year plan, in which was started in 1951, prepared by the Nehruji. So now this next video session we are going to learn about the socio-economic challenges. How many social challenges were there? Because in society the lot of challenges were there to set up to removing the casteism, to removing the untouchability, to provide the equality to all, and to balance the sex ratio, because in that time the girls was not welcomed, and that's why there was a great challenge in front of the Indian leader. We will complete it in our next video session. Now, thank you.